Hello and welcome to another Let's Play Modern with Sean Powells. I'm streaming for the Belgic Magic community, and my predecessor in this afternoon was Yellow Lowers. I assume I have to adjust the dashboard, so let's do that in a small second while you guys can watch to the screen and see which deck we are going to be playing. It's going to be Affinity. The decklist I got is obviously another decklist that I, as usual, get from someone else. Like I don't usually... Am I actually logged in? God damn it. I'm not, am I? Anyway, so this decklist is the decklist that I got from GP Antwerp. It's the guy that ended up in the top 8, and I need to find the password here again because I'm not logged in. God damn it, man. All this junk. Should have done this in advance, but seeing as Yellow was already streaming, I obviously couldn't. I assume that's the login, so that should come out clear now. Let's make sure I still see the chat. Can someone type something in the chat so that I know I can see it? Nope. Still have to log in, so couldn't see the chat. You can obviously see it right there that it has issues. Obviously I want you to remember the password. So how does this look on my stream? Terrible, right? Yeah, indeed. So let's go to the chat again and pop it out. I actually did this before, but now I have to re-edit. Where is it? Okay, remove that, add a screen region, add that, throw it over there. And this is how easy Xsplit is. If you do not own Xsplit, you now see how easy it is to work with Xsplit. Bam, chat added. Easy peasy. So yeah, Affinity. I'll instantly look for a queue here. Like, there's no scheduled events, right? That was the announcement. Yeah, there's no scheduled events for Modern. So basically there are some issues at this moment with Modo or MTGO, whatever you want to call it. And constructed Modern 5332. There are no other things, like this is an 8-man now. This is also an 8-man. No? Why would I... What? How many people are this? Oh, this is the one I want then. Yay! So we should be able to instantly start here. Have fun, Chris. So yeah, you also notice that there's no music. Basically the reason for that was, he keeps. I have like... Okay, this is my very first time playing Affinity as well, so please bear with me here while I figure out if this hand is actually any good. Like, if it kills my 2 Mem Knights, I'm screwed. If it not draw a land, I'm screwed. The 2 Galvanic Blast are pretty good, but are they good enough? I don't think they are. I'm gonna mulligan this. This isn't much better though. We're on the draw. We can go turn 1 Signal Pest, turn 2. Yeah, we'll keep this. We'll see how this goes. Like the previous hand was good if he has a creature-based non-removal deck, but as soon as he had a removal deck, I was pretty screwed there. This is pretty heavy on the mana. Mana side, like we have 3 out of 16 lands. We have a Springleaf Drum. Let's say hello and good luck to my opponent. And you also notice, yeah, what I was going on is that there's no music at this moment on the stream, which is because I also upload them to YouTube, where I'm gonna get dodged here. Oh, I see. So my previous hand would actually would have been pretty decent. Yeah, I'm gonna lead with Springleaf Drum. The reason behind this is if I do draw like an Ornithopter or a Memnite, I can then next turn play Next Champion, and I'm never gonna attack with a single Signal Pest anyway. So there's no value in playing the Signal Pest over the Springleaf Drum here. But there's only upside to playing the Springleaf Drum. But when I upload videos to YouTube, it automatically recognizes the music, and then I have to acknowledge every single musical piece that's in it. And for a 4-hour stream or longer, that's a lot of yes clicks. And then it gets banned in several countries that can no longer watch the video. Like I only have 40 viewers, and I'm probably gonna lose like 25 out of those, just because I decided to stream basically. So we draw Vault Scourge. That's good with the Signal Pests. So we play a Signal Pest. We play both Signal Pests, right? Yeah. And we just use this. We'll add a black, but that doesn't matter because we are gonna lose another 2 life. The problem here is his combo. I have to draw Galvanic Blast to stop his combo or try to outrace him somehow. Yeah, there's no music, but because of that. Like, the music doesn't add a lot. I'm usually talking anyway. When I am gonna go and do other things, which seems unlikely, I'll probably add music, but most of the time I don't. So here I just attack with all of these. That's 5 damage, play it champion. We obviously... Is this a May trigger? No, it's even obliged. So he takes 5. We gain 3. But we just have to be careful for his combo. That's all we're scared of, right? He has 4 mana maybe. He can always court for 3 for Pontiff. That would be pretty good. So if he has a land and court for 3 for Pontiff, it wipes my board, except the Edge Champion. If he has that, that's pretty brutal. And I assume these decks all play it, right? Like maybe older Lizardons or newer Lizardons, but as far as I can recall, they do play it. He doesn't have it though. He's gonna kill my flyer, or he should kill my flyer. Yeah, kill this. Hello. And then he takes another 6, goes down to 4. So Galvanic Blast is lethal. Cranial Plating is obviously lethal. That card is bonkers. Ravager is lethal. There's a bunch of cards. And he killed the Signal Pest. Wow, that's weird. So we'll attack here. We gain 2. He takes 5. So the damage is the same. Yeah, this saves him alive, I guess. Do we run out another Vault Scourge? Like, he probably doesn't have what he needed. If he has Melira, I'm dead anyway. There's no way I can play around that. If he has it, he has it. I have no option than to do what I am doing here. Given Township is pretty good. Okay, he has Melira. Yeah, I realized that King the Best was a better one. So we probably want Gravedigger's Cage. We probably want to Dismember and the 2 Whip Flares. That's my assumption. The question then is, what do we want out? Like the Ancient Grudges, they seem too narrow. If he wants to go for Birthing Pot, it's slow, so that's fine by me. I want these in just because it's removal, but the Gravedigger's Cages. So I bring these in. Let's keep them at the side. We bring in 5 cards. So we want out 5 cards, which is probably the toughest here. We're against a deck that easily can have the Stony Silence in its colors, so it probably runs that in the sideboard. Then Steel Overseer becomes worse. We have no outs against that. Whiffler is really good to clear his board. Gravedigger's Cage is there to stop his combo. Dismember is there as removal. The question is what do we want out? The Galvanic Blasts are also removal anyway. And Reach, of course. So it's not a heavy removal based deck, so I think I want to edge champions out. They're slower. And they're against heavy removal decks. His deck obviously isn't. Steel Oversteers, I think they're still great. I still like Arcbound Ravagers. Maybe I want all edge champions out. That seems greedy though. This doesn't kill artifacts, right? Okay. Let's think about this. Either we remove all the champions and the Steel Overseer, or maybe a stupid Topter or Memnite. Like, Topters are bad unless I have a Signal Pest, so... But they do... They're there for the explosive starts, I assume. Like, these are also 1-drops. We don't have a lot of time left, so... I'm gonna make a decision here. It's probably not the correct one, but... Okay. Lands, play Vault Curse, play Moxobal. It does not have. It doesn't have Metalcraft yet. But I don't think I want to mulligan this. He has to have 2 artifact removal on turn 1, which seems unlikely. Like, we just want to play this out just so we don't lose our Glimmer Void easily. And we'll see what he does here. So yeah, we cast this for 1 life. We add a whatever. This doesn't have Metalcraft yet, so no point in doing that. Yeah, just having these is not enough of a clock. We need to draw something, but... What does he have here? Deathright Shaman, okay. The question is, do I want to kill that? Wow. So... Yeah, we're not gonna draw anything, so I wanna attack first. I think I do kill it. The question is how. We play another Vault Scourge. And then I think we dismember that, because Galvanic Blast is gonna do the same anyway, and that has Reach. Like, our life isn't gonna matter much. We want to add whatever, and this slows him down a lot. Basically allows us to draw something. In case we draw Plating, we sacrifice one of the 2 Mox Opals, like tap this for mana, then play this. So he has a Seer here, and that's it. We draw an Arcbound Ravager. So we want to play this before combat. We can then sacrifice the Opal to this, but that's not needed yet. So we'll just attack here for 2. We're not putting on a lot of pressure, but there's no point in adding pressure yet. We can't kill him anyway, and you usually just want to go in all in with the Ravager when you have to, or when you can kill someone. That's a pretty brutal card. So we can generate 3 mana. Oh, we can kill that end of turn anyway. So that's another option. Yeah, let's do that. Let's just Galvanic Blast it. We Galvanic Blast that. Add the reds. Boom, baby. I do not like this card. He sacrifices it to Scry, or he should fetch first and then sacrifice it to Scry. Let's think about this. He doesn't have anything open, so what do we want to draw here? Obviously, Cranial Plating is always a nuts draw for a deck like ours. It's another blast. So, do you wanna increase the damage by 1? What does that have for extra benefits? Yeah, maybe. Just putting on pressure is always good. We have the extra max opal anyway. What is he thinking about? I could also like attack first, but he's not gonna go for the block. If he does, it seems pretty terrible for him if he already takes his block. For some odd reason he's pausing here, and I assume I'm still connected. I am. So he's just, yeah, waiting for something completely different. Yeah, Affinity, I still think it's one of the better aggro decks in the format. But I feel that it can be hated out too easily, and that's the reason why you probably don't want to play it. It's also like everyone plays hate against Affinity, which makes it really annoying to play sometimes. So with the Springleaf Drum we have 3 mana anyway if we draw a plating here. Let's see what he does. He plays a Kitchen Things, okay, that will gain him life. We can blast it, but we don't want to blast it, I guess. So we went in for 1 damage. Drum Blinkmont Nexus isn't gonna do much. So we still attack with these. If he then blocks this, I have to sacrifice 2 artifacts. That doesn't seem smart. But we want to force him to block. He then sacrifices to Scry. This becomes a 4/4. We still have this open. At the beginning of the end step, okay. Yeah, do I want to sacrifice 2 cards to the Ravager? That's basically the question. Or can I go for lethal even? This is 1, 2, 3. This is 5. It's 5 counter, 6, 7 damage. It's 1 damage short. So if you had an extra artifact, it would have been lethal now. Right, 1, 2. You can't sacrifice. Yeah, but you sacrifice it to itself, but it doesn't get the counter. So it's 1, 2, 3. When we make this an artifact, 6. We can also, yeah, he can always sacrifice this, so we could never go for lethal. I don't think we want to go all in on a singular creature, but I do think I want to sacrifice both of these to the Ravager if he blocks. Like, I want to force him to have a response here, and I'm gonna sacrifice both of these. Float a mana with this, whatever. Let's float blue just to bluff something. We then wanna sacrifice this and sacrifice this and say okay. He fetches in response, gets an Overgrown Tomb and puts it in the play tapped. Let's this then dies, the trigger goes on the stack. Nah, that doesn't matter. We want to continue here. Wow, he sacrificed his Seer? That seems like a misclick. Like, he should have sacrificed his Sphinx. Yes. Yeah, that was pretty odd. That he sacrificed his Seer. I think that was a misclick. Like, there's no point to sacrificing your Seer over your Sphinx. So he has a Pontiff here, which kills these. Then this becomes a 6. This becomes a 7. That's lethal. So that's fine. Let's see what he chooses. So we sacrifice this. These, they don't play removal, do they? I don't think they do. Or I hope they don't. Let's see what he does here. If he has a second seer, I'm pretty screwed, but... sacrifice, yeah. Then this becomes 6. 5. Wow, Wi-Fi, okay. He attacks me for 2. Oh, I can't blast now. Oh, that was bad. I should have blasted in response. To go for the kill. That was basically my intention, to go for the kill, and I just assumed that this would always do 4 damage. It obviously doesn't. We blast this. This then becomes a 2-1 hunt. He takes 6, goes down to 5. Yeah, that now seems to be the better option. Like killing this, and then if he chumps, he has nothing to hunt. Now let's just kill this. Things with Township is gonna be brutal though, but we can always sacrifice the Ravager and make the Nexus pretty big. We just have to be careful that he doesn't do pretty shenanigans with sacrificing the Pontiff to a Scrying. Like, I still think his Seer play was a misclick. Imagine if he still had a Seer in play here. It would be so much better for him. He could easily do more tricks with Pontiff. Would make the game hard for me. Basically, if he didn't have removal, the game was 1 for me. If I blasted him in response to the Pontiff trigger, did 4, got him down to 7. Then after the Pontiff trigger, animated this to 1-1. Like, this is not a lasting trigger. Yeah. And then this becomes a 7-7 and I can hit for lethal. No, because this would die. Wow. Why would you even want to play Affinity? They have so many interactions with themselves that does not work. So yeah, it goes on the things. That's fine. We draw a second Ravager, which is a really good draw. We attack with 1. He has removal for it, so I should play it. Nah, it doesn't matter if he has removal for it. So we... God damn it. They play Abrupt Decay. So if I played Ravager, he would have done that in response anyway. I can now animate this, but then I would lose this. So okay, this is now an artifact. Obviously I want to use the ability. And my turn, I want to make sure that I have a stop here, just to animate this again so my Glimmer Void doesn't die. Having a 7/7 flyer is pretty good. He can obviously still go for his combo. I just need another 0 drop or an artifact land as my draw. He's gonna go and attack, yeah. Okay. What is he gonna do here? Okay, that's not gonna make a difference, is it? Well, he can get birds now and block with him, which he does. We want to make this a creature, just so Glimmer Void stays alive. What does Galvanic Blast change? Nothing. I think we play a Ravager just to keep this more stable. Wow, we're so far behind. Play the Ravager, he kills it, I lose my entire board. Not play the Ravager, lose anyway. He has a Seer in hand, so I know one of the two. I can't attack for 7 without losing my Glimmer Void, so there's no point in not playing the Ravager here. Yeah, I might just go and play Limited after this, because Affinity, holy moly, what a deck. Now, I still think Affinity is a fine deck. Just an odd deck to be playing, to be honest. It doesn't suit my style. But it does get results, so there has to be a reason why people play it. So yeah, he can easily attack me here for 5 or 7 if he activates Township. He doesn't. What is he gonna do? Play Voice, okay. Play Viserys here, okay. So he gets rid of my Glimmer Void. Okay. Yeah, I have no clue what to draw here that isn't out. I don't think there is one. Memnite. Nah, let's concede this one. So 0-1 as Affinity, and we'll jump into 2-man here while we wait for an 8-man to start. Why is it a 5-3-2-2? Yeah, whatever. So this is the deck we're playing. It's a list from GP Antwerp, which got top 8. The reason I like Affinity more is Spell Spears. I think it's a great card in the deck, but I couldn't find a list with a decent result that actually played that. Neither does this play Thoughtcast, which I also find to be a really good card in it. And this deck didn't play that either. It can play Blood Moon in the side, which I consider to be strong in the format. This deck doesn't play it either, even though it can play it. Yeah, there's so many options, and this is the best performing list, so, or at least this is the list that went the best. There has to be a reason behind it, maybe because it's more streamlined. I actually don't know. I assume it is, but you never know, of course, in advance. I do like Edge Champions. I think they're one of the stronger cards in Affinity. Obviously, I also like Cranial Plating. That's what makes these decks sick. Sometimes they just top deck Cranial Plating and a win. Affinity with Blood Moon is psychotic. Do you mean it's bad, or do you mean it's really sick? Okay, let's look at the main list. Let's say you sideboard in Blood Moon. You can still play everything. None of your lands, like, okay, it shuts down your lands here, but the decks that get punished by Blood Moon is pretty strong. Yeah, that's true. As I said, it shuts down your man lands, which is the main reason not to play it. But you can still play the rest of your deck compared to your opponent's deck. They usually can't. They have to get rid of Blood Moon before they start playing again. And the format does seem to be weak against deck like with Blood Moon. You can power it out turn 2, but which decks do you want Blood Moon against? That's basically another important question you want to ask yourself. I don't think there's a lot of them. Like 5-color tribal aggro isn't played a lot. It's weak to Blood Moon, but if you tap out turn 3 with Affinity to play a Blood Moon, you're gonna be losing anyway, because you're already so far behind on the board at that point that it's not gonna matter too much. Tron, but I actually don't know the matchup for Affinity versus Tron. Obviously in the top 8 of GP Antwerp, Affinity won versus Affinity lost versus the Tron deck, so No, but even against Scapeshift, it's probably not good enough. They play 4 cryptic commands, so you just wait and bounce it. Like tap all your creatures, bounce your Blood Moon. My turn, I win. Yeah, Pyroclasms. Sure, but they can't get out of. Even if they have Pyroclasms, they can't get out of the Blood Moon. That's another reason. Yeah, and a champion, of course. I mean, you play with Flare yourself just because it doesn't kill your own creatures, but I think Affinity is a fine deck. I think it's the deck is weak to a Negro deck, right? The format is weak to a Negro deck, and Affinity fills that slot. But the problem with Affinity is that it's all artifacts, so it's hated out easily, and they try to. Well, it's not really Affinity these days, it's just called robots, of course. So we're against Riki here, we won the die roll. Okay then. We have 2 cards we can play. We have 2 cards we can play but have no use. I think we want to mulligan this. How is this any better? Ornithopter Vault Scourge turn 1. If we draw a land, we have this. We have a Galvanic Blast. Yeah, I'm gonna keep this. But you're so often stuck with hands like this that it is a reason why Affinity is just a bad deck. Because draws like this are just terrible. And there's not much you can do about it, of course. They have very explosive openings and they have very weak openings like this. He plays something green, Burst of Paradise. Is this the same guy? No, right? Is this also Merlier Pot? Oh, let's remove this top here. So we drew a second Vault Scourge, which is fine. We obviously want to run it out there. Just to power up Galvanic Blast if need be. And if he ever gets Steel Overseer live now, it's gonna be pretty good. This is gonna be interesting. So he plays Calling Oracle, reveals the Burst of Paradise, and does not do anything else. So basically he's stuck on 1 land. We can punish that next turn, but he's gonna draw a birds anyway. No, he puts it in his hands, right? Yeah, okay. And now Steel Overseer just becomes really strong. And if he still doesn't have a land trap, I can Galvanic Blast one of the 2 birds if I want to. But there's no point in doing that yet. You want to Steel Overseer out as fast as you can. So he did draw a land and played it, and then drew played the Birds of Paradise, another birds. Plays Explorer. This is gonna be an interesting deck. He doesn't have another land drop though. We draw another land. The question is, do we want Edge Champion out or we want to keep open Galvanic Blast? I think Edge Champion here is the play. Then activate Steel Overseer and swing. Just go aggressive. Yeah, he's mana screwed. I mean, he missed with Calling Oracle, missed his land drop there, then made a land drop, played Explorer, missed his land drop with Explorer. Not looking good for the guy. Next turn we can Inkmoth Nexus, activate Steel Overseer again. Unless maybe here he goes like play a land, Hive Mind. Like, what could this even be? So we saw a bunch of cheap creatures. I think we want in Whip Flares maybe. And I assume he's some kind of combo deck, so we want maybe in 2 Thoughtseizes. The question is, what do we want out? We haven't seen much of his deck. We know he's blue and green, so he probably doesn't run a lot of removal. So we'll sideboard out 1 Edge Champion in case we want one of these in. So we're gonna put it here and here. Say what we want out. The question is, do we really need Flare against this deck? We saw 2 birds, we saw a Calling Oracle, but I don't think there's a combo in the format that uses those. I think he wants to power out a bigger creature and then do something with that. So I don't think the whip flares are going to be good enough, and if it would have been, we can still sideboard him for game 3. He's probably not viable to spell skies with what we've seen. Gravedigger's Cage doesn't matter, so it's just a Thoughtseizes. Do we want something out and bring in Thoughtseizes though? So we didn't see any removal. He plays blue-green at least. So we assume that's... well, we might sideboard in Spell Sketch just because he probably has... I think we want in 2 Thoughtseizes. He probably has the mess removal for our cards. I think we want 1 Ornithopter out and something like this. I'm bringing 2 Thoughtseizes. Like, I know they're random, but I just want to put them in to gain some information about his deck and see what he plays. And we draw both of them. Not bad. So turn 1 Vault Scourge. Let's think about this then. Turn 1 Vault Scourge. Turn 2 Signal Pest, Springleaf Drum, attack with the Vault Scourge, Thoughtseize. And we have depleted our hand. So we'll keep our hand then. He leads with the birds here, yep. Does he have another play? No. Come on, Mox Opal. Glimmer Void is not gonna be viable on turn 1. I can try, but Glimmer Void turn 1 into Thoughtseize seems pretty bad. We can obviously Glimmer Void Thoughtseize and then just see what he has, and then if we need to play second Thoughtseize. I'm just curious though. He plays Verdant Catacomb, so I'll assume he also plays black here. Nope. For Abrupt Decays, that is. It's probably some kind of Birthing Pot, right? He... okay then. Yeah, big creatures, huh? That's a nut draw. Do you want to play that over anything else? So that's gonna be a 5/5 at least. Do we wanna play Steel Overseer and then the turn after go Explosive? I think we do. I think Steel Overseer here is a better play if we want to try and outrace him. He can start floating mana next turn, but then we can take it away with Thoughtseizes. We're just gonna gain 1 life here, which isn't a big deal. It's gonna take us a few turns to power up here, but why does he play Misty Rainforest then though? So yeah, he makes this a 5/5. Attacks me, or should attack me, and then spend the mana. It's a really fun card. So yeah, Whip Flare is obviously good against him. I want to bring him in. Harmonize, okay. Yeah, we saw Calling Oracle, so he obviously has other plans. So we'll Thoughtseize him here. He just drew a bunch of cards. Solemn, Explore. What? So I think we want to pick the Explore just because it draws him a card. Like, if he's gonna be casting Solemns, that's not gonna matter. He also plays red, by the way, with Stomping Ground, so he probably has some kind of ancient grudges. Yeah, I mean, picking Solemn isn't gonna change anything. Picking the Explorer is just taking away options from him. So I'll instantly take the Explorer here, play Signal Pest. Animate 1 of these before I activate Steel Overseer, just so it grows. You never know when that comes in handy. Then we're gonna gain 2 life. So his next turn is probably gonna consist of play a land, float 5, attack me for 6, play a solemn. We knew he has a forest. He has 3 solemns, a forest, and the other land, whatever it's called. So he attacks here. I'm obviously not blocking. He's gonna start floating here. No blockers. Float a bunch, hit me for 6, down to 8. This creature is gonna be huge. It doesn't have trample. Whoa. Okay. Just a stupid creature. Draw Edge Champion. Best draw there is. So we know the full content of his hand. It's not really relevant. We play this. I think we animate this one just to mix up the counters. Activate this then, grows my Edge Champion, and then attack for 6, gain 4 life. Yeah, that's fine. And then next turn we have lethal or close to lethal. So we go up to 12. He needs a miracle with his Solemns to get out of this. He drew the Majesty Ring first, so yeah, this game is over. We know the full content of his hand. He has Solemn, and Stomping Ground, was it? Or was it Rootbound Crag? I don't know, it doesn't even matter. Like, I obviously just block this. It doesn't have trample or anything, just deals me to big fucking whoop. He even... No, he's just gonna... He's not even gonna bother with anything. Oh yeah, they blocked that champion, right? Yeah, it blocks that champion. Is this not lethal on its own? This is 3, this is 5. It can only be blocked by 5, which is just tapped. Yeah, 3 plus 5, it's lethal. Yeah, it's a pretty interesting deck, but there's no point in not blocking here, of course. Yeah, 3 plus 5 does seem to be it. I think that's why I went to school, to learn things like that. That 3 plus 5 is 8. So we're just gonna go through the motions here. Like, I think we know the full content of his hand, and it's not gonna make a difference, but like, we could forget the trigger from Signal Pest. Nah, not a modo. You can never forget triggers on modo. Maybe he thought he could block this somehow, but he doesn't. So we win. How many people are in the queue? There's 2 people to go, so I'm gonna wait for a while. Where is it? Here it is. Okay. So in the meanwhile, I am gonna trade off the booster just to get more ticks to keep on playing, of course, which is why I'm here. What do you mean with the new trigger rules? It used to be very hard to forget triggers because your opponent had to was obliged to tell you about them, but nowadays if you forget a trigger, it's gone. Trigger goes bye-bye. Which obviously is a better thing, because your weaker opponent now isn't being held by your better opponent, who has to have more mental stamina to keep up with your misplays. You obviously get warnings for it and stuff like that, but it's really hard as a better player to work with it. Like, it's a bit frustrating sometimes, but most people do like playing with weaker opponents. Anyway, I'm just gonna jump into another 2-man. Someone dropped out of the 8-man, so here we are, and we're against Rinazina. We won the eye roll and we will play first. We're currently 1-1. I'll update that here. Uno. Welcome back. So Xsplit crashed for some odd reason. So we're back live, of course. Nothing went wrong with my PC or anything. I think we keep this hand. We have turn 1 Springleaf Drum, turn 2 Steel Overseer, turn 3 Ravager or Edge Champion. No, I'll keep this. I guess no opponents. I'm still a big fan of Xsplit. I think it's a great program, even though it might be a bit expensive, even if you can. Especially because OBS obviously exists and it's free. It's called Open Broadcasting Software for a reason. But I still think Xsplit is a really great program. It's easy to work with. You can create so many scenes, so many options. Like just its overlay alone, or what you see here. What is? Oh, it's big green, I guess. That's a decent draw. So we play this. Play in Mox Opal. Wanna play this. Gotta pay mana. And bam. Yeah, we keep facing mono green decks. I don't mind. But drawing Mox Opal there was pretty sick. Wow, that card even exists. That's a good draw. We tap these, play a champion. We go to attackers, sacrifice Mox Opal, activate this. Maybe he thinks we're gonna do a trick. I just want to see if he blocks or not. He probably blocks, but there's no point. I'm not gonna eat a Mox Opal here. And then do this. Like, there's no downside in attacking here. That's why I attacked. There's no upside in playing Mox Opal anyway. He does play mono green. Okay. I would never target the land to just tap though. But I guess that's me. So we can play another edge champion and keep on attacking. More carrion annoying cards. I'm not even gonna pronounce it. Carrion Caryatids. Okay, that's my pronunciation for it. What do we draw? We draw a Vault Scourge. Like, we are drawing pretty sick here. We play the edge champion. Boom. We play Vault Scourge. Boom. And we're all in, baby. We attack with these two. Is he gonna declare blockers now? If he does, I can make this a 5-5 easily. If he doesn't block, I'm still gonna make it a 5-5, but he doesn't know that. Yeah, Affinity apparently works when you draw like a bad mofo. Plating isn't needed. Like, look at this board. It's so good already. What else of a 1-drop would be really good? I have no clue. I think Vault Scourge is probably one of the best. Like, Signal Pest would have been great as well. But this, having flying, having lifelink is good enough. Come on, man, make a decision. So he double blocks there. I don't think that was a correct play. Because it doesn't even kill the Ravager. And now this is just so much weaker. It just taps for 4 instead of 6. Which it's still enough, but it just generates 1 extra mana basically, where he could have gotten like the 5 life probably isn't gonna make a huge difference here. And if we want, we can always sacrifice the Ravager to this. How much does it get then? 3, 4. That's 7. That's 12 plus 1, 2, 3, and 6 is 9. So yeah, that's lethal. That's insanely lethal. Unless he has something here. That doesn't make a difference. Obviously it generates some mana, I guess. He has no mana floating. Yeah, it does it. Oh yeah, now this generates more mana. Ooh. Ooh, fancy. Come on, people, stop bugging me. Sylvan Scrying. Reveal it, put it into your hand, then shuffle your library. He hasn't made a land drop yet, so he can play in second Nactos, or Nikitos, or whatever you wanna call it, or whatever it is pronounced. He did. He played it, now with no legendary rule, obviously he can keep it there, and plays to the nail for 2 cards. That's GG. I have no clue what you can do the nail for in this format. Emrakul, it has haste. Interesting. So we sacrifice. Yeah, this is GG. Okay, so we obviously want Gravedigger's Cages in because that stops his combo. We probably want in Thoughtcast, but I'm not sure. What? Oh, I see. Okay. I was like, what the hell is this? Gotta go to the right one? Okay, this is the right one. I don't think we want in the Galvanic Blasts per se. What do you want out? And like he probably doesn't have a lot of removal, so we'll just do the standard stupid Topter shit. Yep. Let's run it like this and then jump to this event. Oh, I can just go match. How do I leave these? Can I leave these? Did I just leave the wrong one? No, right? Okay. What just happened? I would like to play first, and I would like to play first. Memnite into bunch of stuff. No stopping him. I think this hand is a bit too slow against him. This doesn't do much either, so we mulligan that as well. Let's think about this one. We play Memnite, Springleaf Drum, False Skirt. This is an obvious keep. And have triple edge champion in hand. That's pretty terrible though. He keeps his 7. We obviously mulligan again, and we have to keep this. Like, it's not a great hand, but what are we gonna do? We play Darksteel Citadel, pass the turn. Just F6 here, start F6 I guess. He's still choosing here. He didn't have turn 1 play, which is fine for us that is. So we draw Topter, play Opal, play an Inkmoth Nexus because that's a faster clock, and I don't think we play a plating yet, just not to have it in play, I guess. Let's see about this match. So we play a Memnite, we cast a Springleaf Drum, we cast this for life, get a mana, and pass the turn. So we finally has an enchantment. We can attack for how much? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 poison. Overgrown Battlements is gonna make a difference. So can we animate this and play plating? I should have played plating, god damn it. I can play plating and keep it here. Do we go for... normal damage. Plating, equip, animate, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 damage in the air. Yeah, fine. Yeah, I made the error of not playing plating last turn. I thought I didn't need to, but I obviously did. So we'll attack for 5 here. If I did, I could have attacked for more poison, and it would have been a 2-turn clock compared to this, which is obviously a slower turn. My opponent seems to be playing some kind of combo deck with sleight of hand there. He has another Utopia Sprawl. He expanded that, wow. So we do want Ravager in play, like the 1 damage there isn't gonna matter when we have Ravager. We attack with the Vault Scourge and F6. We should have F6 here as well. He didn't do anything. Seeing that we're going for normal damage, we want to animate this. And then attack with these two. Flying in the air. What's going on here? So that loses a suspend counter. He goes down to 8, he's dead next turn, so he needs to have an out here. We have no interaction with him, but we obviously don't want to F6 and show him that. So we draw Glimmer Void. I think we do want to play Edge Champion here. Like, we're gonna miss out on another damage, but Edge Champion is gonna be really good. And we attack for 2. I assume us gaining life isn't gonna make a huge difference. Wow, Boseiju. So my opponent conceded there. Let's think about it. I think we still want to keep the same sideboard. So that goes down to 1. And he'll soon have something here. This hand is just as terrible. He's on the play. We have 23 more mana sources out of 53. We have 2 draws to draw one of them. If we don't, we just have a slow clock. He mulliganed to 6. I'm not gonna mulligan this. I'm gonna keep it. It might seem greedy, but I'm gonna keep it. What did my opponent here do? He just played a Hallowed Fountain, but why did he tap for mana? Oh, he suspended the second Lotus Bloom and then played Hallowed Fountain on tap, took 2. My opponent here has Kessig Wolfrun. Okay. Come on, land. Be a land. Yeah, close enough. Memnite. Cast Springleaf Drum. Cast Vault Scourge. And end our turn. My opponent here didn't do anything. We draw another Springleaf Drum. Do want to cast that. I don't think we do. I think we just cast another Edge Champion attack. I do understand we're missing out on damage against the combo deck, but I just want to see what this guy is actually playing. So he played a Stomping Ground and then Utopia Sprawled it, took damage. He has 4 cards in hand. We draw another Edge Champion, which isn't good. I think we want to play a Steel Overseer just to increase the clock a bit, or try to go for a fast clock. And I think with Steel Overseer that's the better or the faster way. Here we attack for 4. And then do we have lethal next turn? That's the main question. We can play 1, 2 extra creatures. Yeah, let's just attack for 4. I'm really curious what he's actually playing. If he has Supreme Verdict, that's pretty sick. But he is playing Lotus Blooms and stuff. My opponent goes Burning Tree Emissary, a card I have not seen from him before, and then Overgrown Badiment. So only Vault Scourge is getting in here. We do draw land, which is great. We play Ravager, Vault Scourge, or Edge Champion, and that's it. I think we play Ravager, Vault Scourge, just because it's better. We then cast this, we activate this, and hit him for 2. Like, hitting for 2 isn't great, but it's not bad either against his deck, which is at the moment going slow. So yeah, post combat, sorry to my opponent, I am multi-Q at this point. He plays Garruk, which just generates 3 more mana or creates a token, I guess. So he's gonna generate some mana. My opponent goes end of turn Mystical Teachings with Simeon's Spirit Guide. That's interesting. Oh, he has Creeping Corrosion. Wow. Wow. Ladies and gentlemen, this game is over. Bringing 4 Thoughtseize, don't get any, lose the game. Well, we're drawing at champions, but I don't think that's gonna be good enough. So he went to get an Ad Nauseam. He can go for the combo here. Wow, he even has Ancient Grudge. Yeah, this game is over. I assume it's gonna be over. Wow, really? Really? If I draw a Memnite, my Edge Champion suddenly becomes better. He only has 1 card in hand. He has no cards in hand. That's not what I wanted, but it's still good enough. Because, oh no, I don't have... Oh yeah, I have 3 artifacts. It counts as itself, yeah. So if he wants to go for Ancient Grudge here, I can just animate that. So yeah, Lotus Bloom resolves. He has the Ad Nauseam. He basically needs to have... what's it called? The 1 mana spell. So he goes to attack here. I obviously do not block. Because that would be bad. Blocking is bad, people. Because if I block, he can always just... Yeah, why don't you draw something like non-land? Well, Keswick Wolfron is gonna be pretty bad as well. Abundant Growth, yeah, like a lot of these cards seem to cantrip from him. My opponent here is still thinking, right? It's not me. Yeah, I'm still active in the other match, so... Come on, Cranial. Well, Memnite has to do then. We can get him for 2. I think we have to. Like, you might say, well, you can defend here, and that's true, I can defend here. But it's gonna get trampled with the Wolf Run. I can always trade there. Maybe I shouldn't have attacked. Yeah, that attack was pretty bad. I'm an idiot. Because if he Wolf Run... Wow, he didn't. He doesn't have it. He plays land, and then what? Another Corrosion. Or that. That's probably gonna be GG. I'm gonna F6 here. Just make sure that my opponent is doing something. What is he doing? You can't lose the game for having, if you have 0 less life, that infect, okay. Oh yeah, okay, I get it. So we now have to put on a really fast clock. But he basically says here, I do not have it. We drew another Edge Champion. Is that gonna do anything? Nope, this game's over. So 1-2, and I can now commit to this. So Friction on life just gives him extra life. So he's gonna be at 8 and then poison. This is 7, this is 8, and then this is extra poison. So he gives himself an extra turn. His exiled cards is another Lotus Bloom which does not come out of suspend yet. The fact that he just... he can never get mana out of Beseiju either, because he can never pay 2 life. That doesn't seem that great. Can we go for lethal? That's a good question. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. This is 4, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay, 4. let's start at the beginning. 4. If I do this, I also want to use this to tap it for mana. No, I don't. I can attack with this. I can use this to attack that and tap itself. So this is 1, 5, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, which isn't enough. I'm obviously just gonna attack with all of these except the Memnite and keep that open for the Blinkbond Nexus and just deal him 8, I guess. I want to keep that open, deal him 7. Or we can Galvanic Blast instantly, but then he knows about it. Okay, let's think about this. We already thought about this a while though. I think we want to at least attack with these. We can get a red out of this. So we sacrifice a single Springleaf Drum. We sacrifice a single Springleaf Drum to make it 7 so we can't use Boseiju. That's the idea behind this. If I go for more, can I keep open Galvanic Blast? If I animate this, this is 8, this is 9, he goes to 1 infect. 1 infect, goes to 5 infect. Nah, Shockland won't matter, so that's not relevant here. So yeah, we currently want to, I would want to update the score, but I hope it's not gonna crash here again. I have no clue why it crashed, by the way. So I'm updating the score. If it crashes, it doesn't. So we want to, okay. So we still have 15 minutes. We have plenty of time in this matchup, especially seeing that it's a combo matchup. We're a fast aggro matchup. Fast aggro deck. There's not a lot of decisions going in this, except some calculations. Like for him, it's yeah, I need. I still don't know what that card's name is, and ad nauseum. God damn it, what's it called? Angel's Grace, obviously. Thanks, chat, for helping me out with finding that name of that card. Obviously kidding. But yeah, now my opponent is being a bit slower, which is fine. I mean, I made him wait for a while as well, which I apologize for. Sorry for the wait. Was in a 2-man while waiting for this to start. Yeah, it sometimes happens, like it isn't the very first time this happened to me. With Xsplit and MTGO running, that Xsplit crashes. But it doesn't happen often, of course. So he's at 1 life. Angel's Grace says you can't go lower than 1 life. Ad nauseum makes you lose the life, so that's not relevant with Fire Action on life. And it does have split second, so I can't respond to that with Galvanic Blast. But Galvanic Blasting in response is gonna matter anyway. So he does have Ad nauseum. He just draws his entire deck, right? And then kills me. Okay, that's fine. We lose this one. And I know the kill condition, so it doesn't matter. So what do we want against a deck like this? I think we obviously want the Thoughtseizes. And I think we also want the Ancient Grudges. Or Spellskite even. Do they have removal for Spellskite? Let's think about this. They have what's it called? Do they have removal for Spellskite? Can it even target the creature? That's a good question. Let's Google this for a small second. Conflagrate, is that the name? Conflagrate, Time Spiral. Deals X damage to target creatures and/or players. Oh, so he just targets the Spellskite with 1, and then so Spellskite isn't gonna make a difference here. Ancient Grudges. I think we want them in just to get rid of Lotus Blooms. As you can see, it's not all similar art. I do think we want them in though. Then what do we want out? We basically sideboard in 7 cards. Like Ancient Grudge isn't gonna be huge against them. It's just gonna kill Lotus Bloom. Does that even seem good? Maybe 1 less. I don't think the Galvanic Blasts are useful. They just obviously put on a faster clock. And I think we want out 2 Edge Champions because they're too slow. And so far, out of all of 4 games, we haven't seen a single Cranial Plating except once, and I misplayed that one. Yeah, let's keep it like this. We would like to play first. And we won't mulligan this. We have turn 1 Memnite into Springleaf Drum into Signal Pest, turn 2 play land, play Ravager, play a Thoughtseize, attack you for 1. Yeah, we can empty your hands on turn 2. So we obviously don't want to mulligan this. So play Memnite, play Springleaf Drum, play Signal Pests. Hope he doesn't have mass removal. Like he played blue-white, so I assume he doesn't have a lot of removals. Or false Serum Visions. Pretty. Shouldn't you be watching soccer there, Chris, instead of the stream? Like your son is playing football and you're just sitting in the cafeteria or something. Because it's cold outside, I would be sitting in the cafeteria. We won the black. Your son is out there playing the game of his life and you're just sitting here. Lol lol lol. So we obviously want to take the Ad Nauseam. I don't know if they run multiple of those, but there's no point in not taking it there. Obviously, I think I should have played Ingmon Nexus over the Darksteel Citadel, but I forgot. So he plays the Serum Visions. We knew he had that in his hand, so that doesn't matter. He also has no mana acceleration, so he puts 1 on top, 1 on bottom. He pays 2 life for the Water Grave and probably plays Sleight of Hand. Yep. Just digging. Yeah, it is freezing. It's like 4 degrees or something. I wouldn't want to be in your shoes. I'll say that. So animate that. Attack with everything. We obviously want to keep Springleaf Drums around. Because it generates us the mana we need for either Ancient Grudge or another Thoughtseize if we draw it. This guy is just digging for answers, and he really does need it here. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We have lethal next turn. 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, we have lethal. So he plays a Pentat Prism. Is there a way he lives if he has some kind of grudge card? Obviously with Angel Grace he can survive. Oh, so he uses one of these to use it for Serum Visions. What do we have to play around? So we play land, animate, play Ravager, Okay, let's play the Ravager first then. We animate this. Attack with the rest. That triggers. This is 4. We sacrifice this one, which then allows our modeler to put it on, yeah, the same creature, which is now a 4. This is now 8 damage. Obviously want to use the ability. It's now 8 damage. Ah, goddammit, I messed up. Well, we can still do it, but I mean, I should have floated the mana to sacrifice one of the Nexuses instead. Now we have to sacrifice the Signal Pest. That was an error on my end. We eat. I think we just eat the Darksteel Citadel here. Over the Signal Pest, yeah. This is lethal. He has to have something or loses. Angel's Grace puts him at 1, but we still have a lot on the board. He's gonna have a hard time going off next turn. In response, we sacrifice Signal Pest, and then sacrifice Arcbound Ravager to itself. Put a modeler on this, and that's GG. Okay, it wasn't. So yeah, if I activated one of the Nexuses, I could have played around that. I made the error of not doing that. Like I should have tapped the Ravager and the Springleaf Drum to flow the mana and animate one of the Nexuses to sacrifice, and then he couldn't have done that play. That was obviously an error on my end. Still Sabotage, interesting. Like, what is it good against else? Obviously Affinity, it's good against Affinity, but you play white anyway. So we don't have the mana for this, which probably makes this a mulligan to 6 at least. How fast is this? Turn 1, turn 2, turn 3. I'm gonna keep this. Like, I'm not a big Affinity guru or anything, so this could be easily be the wrong keep. And I don't know anymore if I actually changed the dashboard. Like, that's why I logged in initially on the Belgic Magic account, and it created errors with my chat, and then I forgot to update it, I think. So drawing Springleaf Drum doesn't change much unless he has to go off with Lotus Bloom or something with Pentat Prism. Is he digging for land? He could be digging for land here. No, he isn't. Okay, so attacking with this isn't gonna make a difference. So wanna run this out there. Do this. And now we have the mana for this, we have the mana for Cranioplating next turn. Let's see what he does. Pentat Prism I'm gonna kill. He has an Echoing Truth, okay. And then that. So he's just slowing us down here, which is obviously fine on his end. I could have played the plating, but I think the surprise factor of plating is just better. Almost sacrificed the creature there. So next turn I can plating and I keep 1. He has a Slaughter Pact, which he has to pay the upkeep for. Obviously, no, I want him to pay the upkeep for that, obviously. I could have sacrificed this, then that wouldn't have resolved and he didn't have to pay the upkeep. But now it's gonna cost him his entire turn, he's gonna be hit by plating. We play a Signal Pest, we tap the Signal Pest, play plating. I keep it on the Signal Pest, I guess. And then attack for 7. And then we have lethal next turn, which he doesn't know about, but maybe he can go off here, I'm not sure. With a Spirit Guide maybe. He gets a non-life. Okay. So we can probably go off next turn unless we do insane amounts of damage. What's insane amounts of damage? This generates 2 extra, so plating, equip it. Equip it on the Ravager. With... Yeah, I think our stream should be available for the Mac. We attack with both. How much is this? Okay, so he has something. If he has another echoing truth, that's gonna be pretty big. Does he have? He has nothing here. Okay. So this is 18, this is 19. We animate this. This is lethal. What? That seems odd. Because combat damage is dealt in the same turn, in the same trigger, it does that. That seems really weird. I actually didn't know it did it like that. So yeah, we want to get him through his combo here, at least let him do it. But I thought he would still die through frictional life. I didn't know it worked like that. But apparently it does, of course. Let's show this here. Wow, that's terrible. Can I shrink it a bit now? God damn it, I just messed it up, didn't I? Make it like this. Smaller cards, please. Dude, can you please show it in 2 rows? So drew his entire deck, which is the combo. You then remove your Simian Spirit Guides to play Lightning Storm. No, not to play Lightning Storm, what? He plays Lightning Storm? Normally you play... Wow, he really plays Lightning Storm in the deck. Is this even enough? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, okay. It's enough, but I mean, normally you play the Conflagrate, which is actually better. So we're gonna jump into another queue here. I do not have enough tickets, interesting. Yeah, it is. I think the Conflagrate is just better because it plays around Spellskite. If I had known this was his kill condition, I just sideboard in Spellskites and he's dead to that. While the other kill condition still works with your Simian Spirit Guides, and it is just it can play around Spellskite and stuff like that. It seems to be just better. So yeah, he is gonna kill me with this. I'm just gonna, yeah, I have 6, so. I also didn't know that this, because combo damage is a singular damage, that it works like that. That you do not, that the damage does not work differently. So anyway, we did lose that one. Can we leave this event, please? It just stays open at the bottom. It's so annoying. So let's jump into another 2-man. And we're 1-3, and not that great of a result with this deck. So if you ever plan on playing Affinity and you play against that deck, apparently you need to bring in Spellskites anyway. But just think about it. The card Conflagrate does the same, and it actually, like, it doesn't matter which kill condition you run, right? And Conflagrate is just better because you can play around more cards. How can you say Lightning Storm is a normal win condition? Yes, so you wanna go off instantly. How? Like, I know Angel's Grace ad nauseum, and then Lightning Storm is instant, but like if you can go off, you can just go off. Except maybe against the control, like, okay, I would understand that. Like if he ever taps out at 1 point. Okay, so that's a big plus then for it. If it is instant speed over sorcery speed, it might be better. If I would have known that, like if I didn't concede to him game 1, I would have brought in Spell Skites and then probably had a better matchup anyway. But, well, we learned. If you ever play Affinity, Spell Skite inside, bring it in against the Ad Nauseam deck. Just waiting for someone to join our queue here. Haven't won a lot. I've only won 1 game, so that's basically nothing. Oh yes. No, he already used Slaughter Pact. But he would have had Steel Sabotage. That's true. We found an opponent. We're playing against Doopsnacks. And we have a turn 1 Ravager, or turn 1 Overseer. He's on the play. We're obviously not gonna mulligan this. He plays Seachrome Coast. Is this the same guy? What am I saying? I obviously don't have turn 1 anything. Because these are not artifacts. Yeah, it seems to be a similar deck to the Ad Nauseam one. It is a similar deck to the Ad Nauseam one. So that's 2 games in a row where we play Ad Nauseam. We still want to go aggressive, I guess. So we play Ravager here. And... well, we can play an Overseer as well. Why am I not doing that? I obviously don't want to sacrifice an artifact. And then next turn we jam a plating on our Ravager. Attack him for a bunch. Hope he doesn't have a kill. Ingman Nexus seems to be the better play. We play a plating. I keep it to the Ravager. We animate this just so it gets the counter, and we want it to be the infect one, just so we can, with the plating next turn, maybe kill him like that. He seems to have an answer for something. Maybe for plating, maybe not. Come on, man, make a decision. So he gets a Watery Grave untapped. Oh, he's just fetching into F6, okay. He obviously knows which deck we're playing. And this is why I actually like Spell Pierce over anything else in the Affinity deck, just because you can punish decks like this pretty easily. This is an artifact. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 artifacts here. Which makes this lethal if we keep it. And we'll attack here, and we have lethal on 2 ends. So he has to have Echoing Truth for the Cranium Plating, or find a way to survive here. Angel's Grace doesn't work against the Inkman Nexus, does it? You can't lose the game if your opponent can win the game. Yeah, but you take 10 poison. Yeah, let's just activate it. There's no downside in doing that. You take poison, then you die in your upkeep because of the poison. So yeah. Again, I think we still want the Ancient Grudges in. We want the Thoughtcases in. Seeing that they can probably play around the spell skies, I tend on bringing them in. I think I'm gonna sideboard out Edge Champions, just because they're so slow. Maybe I do want a single spell skite, just because it's faster than Edge Champion, but it's stupid 0-4. Ancient Grudges might clunk my hand a bit. This hand seems fine. We have no interaction though. Play a Topter. Play another Topter. Hi Topter. Play Enigma Nexus, play Signopest. End of turn. Eating candy. If you don't know which one, it's Dragobuses. You probably know them. There's the little colored balls full of sugar. That's why I talk so much, because I'm full of sugar. I'm a sweet, sweet guy, full of sugar. Nah, just kidding. I'm an asshole. No, I don't know. I think in general I'm a nice guy. If I know you, I'm pretty polite, stuff like that. But I can be an asshole if I want to. I have no problems with it. Okay, what do we want to do here? We can attack for 2, play Ravager, or we can play this and attack for 2 poison with it as well. I think Ravager is just a faster play. And the more solid play to play around removal and stuff like that, so... I know it only deals 2, and Pented Prism is really good. We want to draw Ancient Grudge, but then we can't cast it because we do not have the colored mana for it. Ah, so many downsides. We draw a Plating. Pretty good draw. Because we can now keep it on the Signopest. Do we want it on Signopest or on a Topter? I think we want it on a stupid Topter and pay 1. Like the Signopest is gonna be more damage than the Topter in total. If we can kill the Topter, that's fine. But if he kills the pest, it's gonna be 3 damage. So his dead next turn has to have an out there. He basically needs his Angel's Grace plus ad nauseum, which he's gonna dig for right here. How many ad nauseums do they play? They play 2. So he went and got an Echoing Truth. Does that make a difference? I don't think it does, because if he tries to Echoing Truth something, I can just sacrifice it to the Ravager. So he did find his combo, I guess. Because why else would he play Angel's Grace? Or they play 4 ad nauseum and 4 Angel's Grace, and I guess. So let him just do this here, and I want to see which kill condition he plays and how many of what. So yeah, 4 Angel's Grace as well. Obviously Simian Spirit Guides, the Unlives. And this has an interesting story. So it says all damage dealt to you as though it had infect. The opponent was at like 7 poison, I think, and at -6, that doesn't matter. And his opponent played, he was at 4 poison. His opponent played, they were seated next to me, his opponent played Bump in the Night, and they both went to the pad, and they both wrote down -7 poison, or 7 poison. And I'm sitting there looking at it, and I'm like, that doesn't seem correct. So I call a judge. Yeah, I obviously always call a judge. Never gonna interfere myself, and say to the guys, please, could you please hold on? They play Pulse of Vault. Cool. He then stops them. So yeah, he plays Lightning Storm as a kill condition. That's all I want to know. So he then stops him and says like, yeah, it isn't damage. And they had to explain to the burn guy that it's not damage, that it's loss of life, and that fractional life doesn't care about it. You can still lose life even if you're below 0. You just can't pay life with cards. So yeah, that was pretty interesting there. Just a little tidbit while my opponent was going off. Pretty boring to play against the combo. Again, we have no interaction with our opponent. We have turn 1 Inkmont Nexus and Cranial Plating. Let's just keep this. I'm not pleased with having to keep this, but it is a fast kill though. What am I doing? I want to cast a Springleaf Drum. I want to cast Memnite, Signopest, pass the turn, next turn attack for a bunch. So he's gonna have to do things there. Like we almost empty our hand here. If you have a land, Cranial Plating, which you do, and we're gonna do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 damage on turn 2. I think this is the reason why Affinity is so popular. So if we draw Nation Grudge, we can kill Lotus Blue because we already have the mountain. We obviously also have Springleaf Drum. He gets an island. If he Serum Visions... Okay, so he doesn't have Steel Sabotage here. He puts it on the bottom. You can see the chat, but I can, so I'm telling you. He puts 1 on the bottom, he's thinking about the second, and he keeps the second on the top. So he has top, bottom. Or bottom, top, whatever you want to call it. So we draw another Memnite. He now knows the full content of our hand. We play Plating. We activate the Memnite we just cast. Is this one, right? Okay. We keep it to one of the stupid Memnites. Too late. I might have thought about the Signopest because Echoing Truth on a Memnite would be pretty strong. But it's a bit too late to change that now. So yeah, that's a lot of damage. He needs an out now or he loses. So yeah, pretty strong draw there. Turn 3 kill. He plays Sleight of Hand. It's always like this is a reason why I don't like playing this deck. You're always so all in, and it's basically your opponent either has it or it doesn't have it. And it's good to put the question to your opponent: do you have it? But I rather play a deck that has options, like more options than this. It says GG, so I assume it's GG that is gonna concede here. But I find it to be more interesting if your opponent has more, if you have more options to play with. That's basically what I'm trying to say. So I'm gonna put away the overlay here. Oh, we jump into another game and it's the very same guy. Say hi again. So we're 2-3. I'll change it here. Okay. Please don't crash. Okay, it didn't. I don't know. Turn 1 Memnite or Vault Skirts. Turn 2 Steel Overseer. He won the die roll. We're gonna try to keep this, but it's not a great hand for me. Like no platings here. But what do I want if I draw? Like what do I want if I go to 6? Probably less lands, but apparently my opponent is second match with the deck he's playing. So I think we have turn 4 kill maybe. Turn 2 Overseer. That's Um, 2 damage on turn 2. That's 6 damage on turn 3. That's 9 damage plus the Galvanic Blast. Yeah, we have a turn 4 kill, so he has to go off turn 4, which he can with Lotus Bloom, obviously. And I have no interruption. So I think the die roll does matter. Like if I go first, I think a turn faster than him. If he goes first, he's obviously a turn faster. We can play the Spring Reef Drum, but we're gonna miss out on the damage, and there's no upside in doing this. We have plenty of mana, and we don't have anything artifact related at this point, so I don't think playing the Spring Reef Drum is gonna be good enough. Do they have main deck still? Sabotage? No, right? They have main deck Slaughter Pact, Pact of Negation, and stuff like that, but... So that's why they play Boseiju. I see. So yeah, turn 4 kill isn't gonna matter if he has Lotus Bloom. Gemstone... Wow, why do they even play that? So the Friction on Life does save him a turn. Play Glimmer Void, animate this. Attack for 6. Ah, goddammit. I should have played the top there, of course. So the top tier is once more than should be. And we are gonna play the Spring Leaf Drum now, just because with the top tier we can do it. I was too narrowed in, and it is gonna matter. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, it would have been 9. So now this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 damage, and he's gonna be at 1. And then the Fractional Life doesn't kick in yet. So it does matter. If he has Ad Nauseam here, he obviously wins anyway. He has to have it, and if he doesn't, he still has Mystical Tutor. He plays Pentat Prism, okay. So he doesn't have it. Okay, is there a downside to playing Galvanic Blast now? That's question number 1. Yeah, there probably is. Driving Edge Champion isn't that great, but we play Darksteel Citadel. The 1 damage from the top tier isn't gonna matter a lot. Like, we just wanna go for next turn kill. He obviously doesn't have Nauseam yet, else he would have used it. If he tries to go for the kill with that Nauseam, I still can't stop it. There's no way of getting him low enough here. Pum 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 pum. Yeah, just play the Edge Champion here. With that we can always blast. So we want to make this a creature with its own, just so it gets the pump of the Overseer. Then attack. Again, I'm putting the question to him, do you have it? And I think he should have it, right? He probably has something like Mystical Tutor anyway. Pentat Prism gives him enough mana. So it goes down to 2 or to 4 here. I can end of turn blast him, and then I have lethal. Or just blast him on my turn, that doesn't matter. Or it might matter, but... he might think that Frictional Life is gonna save him here, but it's not gonna save him instantly. Wow, 3 games against the same deck. I do think it's an interesting deck. I think, as far as Modern is concerned, this is probably the most interesting combo deck in my eyes. Just because it's really a combo deck. So he hardcasts Simian Spirit Guide. So they don't play Mana Leaks, right? So I don't think not casting this doesn't have a downside. So now he's at 0, which then allows everything to get in there for poison. And this should be lethal. Unless he has something really huge here. Well, maybe Angel's Grace, but it's not gonna make a difference. Wow, he's really gonna lose here. Yeah. Okay. So obviously same deck, same sideboard strategy. Bring in 3 Ancient Grudges. I know I haven't seen them yet, but I think they are relevant because their mana acceleration is all artifacts. Sideboard out the Blast, even though they were just useful for me. And sideboard out 3 Edge Champions because they're slow. Maybe I want to keep in one of these. Yeah, let's try it like this. Ancient Grudge, which I can never cast. Thoughtseize, which I can never cast. We want to mulligan this. Yeah, it's terrible. Okay, this is at least better. Mulligan to 4, so yeah, this should be his game. If he loses this, I'm gonna say that his deck is pretty weak. We do have a strong 4 card, like 2 lands, Signopest and Overseer are, and with a man land as well. But against the combo deck, it's not gonna be fast enough, especially not if now he has some kind of removal package like Steel Sabotage. I even think he has it in hand, unless he doesn't play. If he doesn't play a cantrip here, he probably doesn't. It didn't have it in hand. Okay. So if I do draw Glimmer Void, is gonna be pretty huge. Attacking here has no use, but next turn we'll be attacking for 5. So yeah, for a 4 card hand it is pretty good. Peer through Depths, second time he has it, he gets a sleight of hand. So it means he's digging. Yeah, if you draw Glimmer Voids, these are gonna be pretty good. We have 2 of them. We drew 2 of them basically, but now we need to draw the land with it. Obviously, if I draw, come on, sleight of hand, man. If I draw, wow, he uses Vented Prison to sleight of hand and not his fetch land. You're really so scared of taking the extra damage that he... Well, that means he probably has an extra land in hand anyway. Because else this doesn't make any sense. Like even now it doesn't make any sense. You want to go for the next turn, Angel's Grace ad nauseam, or at least have that option open. And you just screwed his own option. Drawing Cranial Plating is fine, but doesn't increase anything. 1, 2, 3... Yeah, I think... okay, let's think about this a bit more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 compared to 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5, 6 on the next turn. I don't think playing Cranial Plating here is better than animating and attacking. Just because it's slower, you want to do it on the very same turn that you cast it, I think. Now this way we at least apply a bit more pressure. And if we draw land next turn, then we can still go for the Cranial Plate, but investing an entire turn in it and then just being bounced, and even if we attack with it next turn, it's not gonna trump the damage of this together with the Signopest. So it's still not gonna be big enough. So he has a Boomerang on the Nexus, okay. Cool art for the Boomerang, by the way. I don't know if it's just a Modo or... Wow, he has an Echoing Truth as well. This guy doesn't like my deck, I guess. But he's low on cards now. So we play... I think here we do play the plating. He knows about the Overseer, but now he knows about the plating as well. But even if we don't draw anything next turn, we can apply more pressure with the plating instantly than with the Overseer. The Overseer is more of a build-up. He just used 2 cards though, so he only has 2 cards left. Nothing that we know of. And next turn Lotus Bloom is coming out. Wow, what a terrible draw. So we keep that. We go to combat. Attack for 5. Yep. Where? Previous turn? I attacked previous turn with the pest, didn't I? Where is an attack with the pest? It's an 0-1 before that, so that didn't make a difference. I don't know where I missed an attack with the pest. I think I didn't, but I could be wrong. I have been wrong in the past, and I'll be wrong in the future. So he bottoms and keeps one on top. So I assume he's gonna go off next turn. Ornithopter pumps my plating. So does Overseer, but this is just better. This is now 8 damage. He goes down to 1. Wow. Yeah, that could be right. You could be right there, and that is actually the missing damage. Yeah, you could be right there. I'm not 100% sure. I could have missed an attack there. So he has the Angel Grace. Or what did he just... Oh, he played it with the Pented Prism. Placed Spalls of the Vault. He named... Oh, he's waiting to name. He's obviously gonna name Ad Nauseam here. Play Ad Nauseam. Yeah, the 1 damage matters. See, small decisions always matter. The rest becomes exiled. He isn't unlucky that his kill condition is with it. But I'm not sure that with the amount of lands in play and all the rest that he can actually still go off. I'm not sure. How much does it do? 2 charge counters. I'm just gonna make him do this because I'm not 100% sure on the amount of lands he has. And he has to have what does it do? 3 plus number of charge counters. So he needs 17, 18, 9 lands, and I have no clue if he has enough because he did remove a bunch with the spoils and he has 6 in play. So I just want to make sure that he has enough. I'm gonna have 6 here, obviously. There's no interaction for me here. There's no point in conceding either. So he has 3 here, he needs 9, he has 4. He actually kept one in hand, that seems really odd. He has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That should be enough. So we'll just, yeah, we're F6. If he F6, we instantly find out. But I think he has enough. Like, yeah, the 1 damage from the pest might actually matters. Obviously, we did mulligan to 4, and it was close already. Like, maybe you could have gone off earlier. I'm not sure. Wow, you have to change targets. Oh, you can actually change targets, that's cool. What did he bring in? We can watch this here now. He has a needle. Boomerang. We already saw Echoing Truth. Yeah, give me a second, please. So yeah, he didn't bring in a lot. Pum 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 pum. I maybe want out 1 Ancient Grudge for the blast. Yeah, let's keep it like this. We want to play first, obviously. Ah, man. these hands. Um, this is so greedy to keep. We have no clock, we have 2 turn. We need to draw a land. I think we need to mulligan. I really think we need to mulligan this. Yeah, this is way better. We're obviously not gonna mulligan further. We're gonna go the main route with normal damage, but it's not gonna matter because I'm not gonna attack with it on turn 2 anyway with any of these lands. Yeah, I don't think the deck is good. I just think it's a fun deck to play. It's as far as combo is considered, modern has been nerfed, if I want to call it nerfed. It's so hard that this just seems to be the funner of all the cards. What does he have here? Silence. Okay. So I can't play anything. So it actually is gonna matter. So we missed another damage by playing the wrong land, I guess. Never would have guessed that. Well, we didn't really miss damage. He did himself 3 damage anyway. And I then think we played the Ravager over the Overseer. Do we? No, we just play the Overseer. It's much stronger. He can have a Prism here. But again, in this mana base, we never seem to have our desired mana. Like, we don't have any colored mana. Even if we draw Thoughtseize or anything, it's just gonna be useless. He probably has mana open to pierce through depth here. He plays a Boomerang on the land. Okay, it seems like a really bad play. So we attack for 2 again. And then next turn we attack for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. What happens if you play the Ravager? Pump everything. Okay, so he can go off next turn. We need to keep that in mind. If we draw plating, we have no use for that. If we play Ravager, activate Overseer, sacrifice Ravager, we also get 2 counters to something. But that's not gonna make a difference. You basically want to set up for the kill afterwards. Yeah, but we never saw them. Like, it didn't matter a lot. Like the previous game, it might have mattered. So he bottomed both with Serum Vision, so I don't think he has the kill in his hand. But it's true, I might sideboard in too many colored cards. I'm actually not an Affinity player myself. I'm just, every time I stream, I try to play Modern, and I want to vary it a bit. Like, the very first stream I played Scapeshift and 5-core the main zoo. Then return after 1 I played Moonpot, which is basically Kickpot with Megas of the Moons. And now tonight I am playing Affinity. So I'm just going through the pools of modern decks that I might want to look into and play. Like, it's not that I'm preparing for anything, because there's not a lot of modern going on soon anyway. So what do we draw? Or does it want to do something on our upkeep again? We draw a Memnite. Does that change anything? Memnite, play Ravager, eat a Memnite, pump. Ravager is 3, that's 1, 5, 8 damage, not enough. We obviously want to play the Memnite. I think we can play the Overseer, but I still think animating this and attacking is better. Or play the Ravager, activate and attack. Like, both set up for the kill anyway, and Ravager can play around more cards. It also allows us to kill next turn with the Nexus. Yeah, Ravager seems to be a better play. We then activate this and attack him for 5. Imagine if Modeler was something that existed for every artifact. With this, that would be so sick. It would have been GG. So he either has it here or it doesn't. If it doesn't, I can kill on so many ways. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Even if he plays Fractional Life, we still win with this. Do we? Don't we? He already uses 1 boomerang. We only saw 1. We cannot play anything else, but we can animate this. So we animate this. We give everything plus. This is now 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. This 5. Yeah, I think we go all in here. He already has 1 poison counter, so we can keep the Steel Overseer around. This seems really bad, but it's just to play around the Fractional Life. It doesn't play around any kind of removal, but the only removal we saw from him previously was Boomerang. And he probably has it for next turn, so I just wanna make sure I kill him here. We need 1 more, so we have to sacrifice this anyway. This seems so bad. Yeah, I wanna use the ability. Please don't have it. He doesn't have it. He didn't have it. Oh man. What a game. So we're gonna do 1 more. I just need to trade here. Give me a second. Wow, that was close. That was really close. Was interesting though. Let's update the title, and I am just trading away boosters here for some tickets so that I can keep on playing. I'm close to being out of tickets, so currently 3-3. I think we're gonna get 7 tickets out of it, so yeah, I'm waiting here for a second before I'm queuing, just to make sure that it's not the same guy, because that would be pretty boring for you guys to watch, just see it several times. Like if any of you guys just want to play yeah, I could have played around Giga Draws, but we saw his entire deck the match before we actually went through all his cards. So I knew he didn't have Steel Sabotage, I knew he didn't have another Boomerang, so it was so unlikely that he had any other card there that I was willing to just go in there. So no one is in the queue, so we'll hop in and hope it's not the same guy. We also have enough for another 8-man, which I'll join as well. And then that's gonna be it for me today. If I yeah, I don't see why he said words in silence though. It seems to be bad. I think he had that. I'm not sure. I might have looked over it like it's not relevant to me. And I look over it like only the Biting Needle, I think, and the Boomerang. He was new to the deck, yeah, he said that. That's true. So we're queued here for the 8-man and the 2-man. See which pops first. Currently 5 people in the modern one, 8-man, and 1, which is me, of course, in the 2-man. It's pretty sad that the current issues exist with MTGO, where they disabled dailies and stuff like that. I probably wanna like it's way more beneficial for me to play the dailies than just doing this, because this is just costing me tickets. Especially if I get a record like 3-3, which is pretty bad in my opinion for a deck. Like if you go 3-3 in any kind of Grand Prix, you're out. Even with buys, you're gone. You do not want that to happen to you. So just waiting around, and whichever pops first, I'm gonna play and then stop. If the 8-man pops first, I'm gonna continue the 8-man. If the 2-man pops first, I'm gonna leave the 8-man and just play the 2-man once and then finish the stream. Like we already played 6 games, we're gonna play a 7th game and maybe more if it's the 8-man. But we're basically looking for people here. Come on, man. Something happen, please. It's not entertaining to watch standing still screen for you. Well, maybe I'll keep open the deck editor here. You can see the deck. Nothing new. You saw it so often before. So for those new people here, if you like the stream, if you want to follow us, you obviously can do. You see that we have an overlay which is Belgic Magic. Now, what is Belgic Magic? You might ask yourself. Well, Belgic Magic is an initiative obviously by the Belgian community, started by like 5 people: Maran, Chris. I'm not gonna name all names before I forget one. So thanks to all those people for starting it. It's basically a community initiative to try to improve the play level out from players within the Belgic Magic community. It's also to share information about newer decks, and we have our 8-man pop, so I'm gonna leave the 2-man just so I do not have to start duo queuing. Anyway, Belgic Magic community is an initiative by the Belgic community to improve. We obviously are gonna mulligan this. Damn deck. Really? I'm not even gonna mulligan this. Fuck you. If I draw land, this is gonna be really good, but this hand is terrible, especially now. This game is over. Like mulligan to 5, get your Mox Opal stolen. But the 2 previous hands were just terrible. We have a 5 lander out of 16 lands with 2 crap cards. We then had another hand that just did nothing, and now we have a hand that does something, but just it doesn't take the Mox Opal. Why do you not take the Mox Opal here? Okay, obviously I can't cast it yet, but at this point it's my only mana source. Like, it's so long until I get to Edge Champion. Why do you not take the Mox Opal here? That seems really weird. Like, it's not something I would ever do. So he's Junt. Gonna have a hard time against his opening. Especially seeing that we obviously do not have any mana. We're just attacking with a really big Memnite, by the way. Just look at the size of it. It's obviously better than Dark Confidence just because of its size. So he reveals Abrupt Decay. We're just gonna play this out to see where this goes, but it seems likely that we're gonna lose this one. So he sees what we drew. He should take the Mox Opal yet again, and he doesn't once more. He just takes a redundant copy of Arcbound Ravager. So he's probably gonna Abrupt Decay my Memnite now and keep my... Wow, he has triple Inquisition and he still doesn't take the Mox Opal. Seriously. Yeah, I mean, okay, it's fine. Do whatever you want. I'm gonna hit you down with a giant Memnite. Okay, like, let's listen to you people. Would you have taken the Mox Opal there? Like, just look at this. Just because he didn't take the Mox Opal, I can now have my entire hand on board. Obviously, if he didn't play Ravager, I would have a Ravager in play, but he had the Abrupt Decay for that. Like, now I have 4 power in play. He revealed Liliana. Pretty annoying. So he has Abrupt Decay and Liliana here. The question is, do we want to kill Lily? What do we want to do? What is he gonna do even? I think playing Abrupt Decay on the Signal Pest is his better option. And keep Dark Confidant behind. Playing Lily doesn't seem to be the smarter option. We are gonna sacrifice the Memnite just because he can easily use his Dark Confidant to trade with it, and he should be willing to get rid of his Dark Confidant. We play a land, and I think we attack him. We still have the option. We wanna attack Liliana. Just to kill it. Like, he could have lost it, but then if he Abrupt Decay this afterwards, he has another Liliana activation. Don't want that to happen. Yeah, I take the Mox instantly. Like, there's no debate even there for me. Drawing Scavenging Ooze was a pretty good draw just because it's gonna gain him life. Cranial Plating here is lethal, but he has the decay, so I just clicked away the decay. Actually has Mistrum Pulse, which is also good because plating is now 4 damage, which still isn't enough, but he only has 2 cards here. Well, we draw a Signal Pest. Please don't have another Mistrum Pulse. Good, it's looking really bad for us, especially now that he has revealed the Bolt. He has plenty of removal. It seems to be a pretty standard Junt. Not even gonna keep on looking at that. Yep. So he has DK, which he now has enabled inactive. Doesn't matter though, because Bolt saves him from plating anyway. Galvanic Blast we can cast, but still not lethal. Wow, really? Okay. What do they play for 4 mana? They do play some things with 4 mana, right? So he draws a Terminate to kill the Signal Pest. He has plenty of removal here. They wouldn't even have cast the Bolt there. Okay. He has a Terminate, I know that. He goes up to 9. Casts the Terminate. That's GG. What can I draw here? No, I can't. I can't draw anything to win there. So what do we want against a deck like that? Obviously not Gravedigger's Cages, not Ancient Grudges. I'm not sure about all the rest. Spellskite is great to stop his removal, but I think Edge Champions are good enough. And the main deck creatures are decent enough to not want Spellskites in. Whip Flares don't kill that much of Junt. They kill Dark Confidence, obviously. They kill the just cast Scavenging Oozes. But they do have Tarmogoyfs. So I don't feel that Whip Flares are good enough. I might want a Dismembering. And I might want to Whip Flare. I'm so unsure about this. A Dismember is just there to kill a creature. The Whip Flares can also kill creatures, but he's not flooding the board. It's not like he has Lingering Souls. Didn't look like his deck was splashing for that. So I think we want a single Topter out. Yeah, Shames as well, okay. But what do we sideboard out then? We obviously want Edge Champions in. Do we want Topters out and just play a more slow deck? Something like this. Signal Pests are bad on its own, but so are Topters. And if he can trade 1-for-1s on stuff, on bigger stuff like top row, is gonna be useless. We can also side without signal pests because they are worse against his creatures when we have a cranial plate and when we have a steel overseer. He's also going to be playing Ancient Grudges, which I can't do anything about. Except obviously Spellskite, but then still it's 1-for-1, so no point in sideboarding that in. Let's just make a cut like this, because we actually don't know what we want out. Would you like to play first? Yes. Would you like to mulligan to 6? No, this hand is fine. So turn 1 we play Springleaf Drum, Ornithopter, Fault Scourge. Fault Scourge or Signal Pest? Good question. I think Fault Scourge is stronger, and if he kills it we still have the Signal Pest afterwards. Getting a champion out would be pretty good. With the Signal Pest, he's probably gonna use his removal on Steel Overseer anyway. We could have also cast Signal Pest, but if he then kills that, it's not gonna be a difference. And we want to bring this out and just start doing things. Drawing Ravager is pretty good, because now his removal is a bit more blanked. Did I not click this? Oh, I did. Okay. Just some lag. I was like, why is it not attacking after I clicked OK? But it was just some modal lag for some reason. So he obviously has Abrupt Decay here. There's no other reason to do what he just did. So yeah, we are gonna sacrifice this to the Ravager. Thank you for that. I think it's fine what he did. I think we want to play a Steel Overseer and the Signal Pest, and then the turn after we want to play the Edge Champion, just because now if he has removals for the Steel Overseer we can obviously just keep on sacrificing it to the Ravager, and if you can play a champion next turn with a Steel Overseer still in play, that's gonna be huge. So he just has a Liliana. I just say just because it's actually a really bad card here. We obviously sacrifice this. Like Signal Pest can even take it out there. But we want to cast this, don't we? So we have to tap Signal Pest, play a champion, activate this, and no, not sacrifice an artifact. Attack Liliana here. But this seems like pretty strong, unless he has stuff like Creeping Corrosion, which I don't think they run a lot. He's gonna take 2 here, okay. So he's gonna make it a 4/4, I guess. But that's still not gonna be good enough. He's still gonna take so much damage, even with the Ravager there. This Ravager is a 5/5, this is a 4/4 that he can even block. He can block this anyway. He can block this, but it's just gonna die Zeus. Because this can become a 5/5 with this, or I can just sacrifice this to it. Uzi is never gonna be enough. He did gain life from it, but I think he's far behind here, and he really needs something like Ancient Grudge or something. I don't know what they all play. Yeah, again, I wanna animate this before I activate this, just to pump it up. We then go to declare attackers with all of these. Signal Pest makes them grow. Grow, my pretties, grow. He does indeed block there, and we're gonna sacrifice the Splitting Reef Drum now. And it kills Zeus. He goes down to 10. And he's close to lethal. Maybe I could have even killed him there. Sec, that's 4. Sec, that's 5. Nah, wouldn't have been lethal. But yeah, I just thought about it. Something like the Signal Pest is always going to be better than Ornithopter just because it can only be blocked by flyings anyway. So there's no point in keeping... Well, it does cost a mana. Nope. Pretty bad hand. We do have a net champion though. Turn 1 Memnite, turn 2 Overseer, turn 3 champion. But it seems a bit fair against Junt. It seems too fair to play against Junt. This is a bit better. I know it's not that much better, but the fact that we have cranial plating gives us a more explosive start. If he has the abrupt decay for it, he had the abrupt decay for it. There's no way we could have done something about that. He actually has a Lava Monster, which is really sick. We do draw a second plating, and I think we're gonna go for the Nexus attacks, just because it's a bit faster. If he has another fetch or anything else, the Lava Monster is gonna be really good. And this is the 8 man, I think. So he has an Ooze again. Let's get funky with the Ooze. Well, we draw land. Great. So we're just going for one poison. We obviously want to play cranial plating next turn and attack, I think, but it's not gonna be good enough. I don't think this game is winnable at this point, just because the hands we mulliganed into seem to be pretty bad. Yeah, he can even kill our Nexus here. It's looking really bad. We can draw what? A Memnite? Yeah, that seems really good. So he knows about the plating now. We're just gonna pass the turn. He's gonna Lava Master, which I'm fine with, by the way, because I'm planning on killing with him with this anyway. As long as he keeps the play, allows the plating to be in game, I'm fine with that. If he had the removal for the plating, I don't see why he would use the Lava Monster on the stupid Memnite. So I'm gonna be here and assume he doesn't have that. The removal for plating, that is. Obviously, Junt is a deck that runs a lot of removal. They play Abrupt Decays, which cannot target the land cannons, but it can kill the plating, so it still does not make any sense the way he played that. Whip Flare does kill the Lava Monster, but I still wanna attack with this. We keep this. I probably should have played this, by the way. And attack for 5 in the air. If he has a remove for that, we're pretty toast, right? He has the Abrupt Decay. So his play made no sense. His play made no sense to Lavamancer or Memnite. Like, it's 0. There's no point in doing that at that point. Because you could easily attack with use. If I blocked, you still have the option to Abrupt Decay my plating. Yeah, it's a really weird play what he did there. So he's going on the aggression here and is representing a next turn kill. Is there anything I can do to stop that? Dismember will hurt me a lot. This is gonna be 5, 6 poison, which isn't enough. Dismember is actually my death, right? It's not good enough. Plating is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 poison, which is too short. Dismembering that allows him to activate that and just kill me outright anyway. I can't even dismember because of that. I can hope he is greedy. So I have to Whip Flare now. Play Cranial Plating. Pass the turn. Hope he activates Scavenging Ooze twice. So we cannot use the Raging Ravine this turn. Then dismember that and then somehow draw second Plating. No, that's not gonna be enough. What can I hope to draw here? So if he just activates Ravine, GG. Okay, he activates Ravine, GG. So we lose that one. We're out of another 8-man, and I'm gonna stop the video here, or at least the broadcasting. So if you like the stream, I'm gonna update the score here while talking, or while I try to talk. So 3-4, not a great result. So my main thoughts about Affinity, and I'll show the deck while I make the outro. So the afterthought about Affinity is I have no clue how this deck got past all of the hate that exists in the format. There's a lot of spot removal, which this deck is weak against, besides Ace Champion, of course. It does not play Spell Pierce, which is probably the main reason to play Affinity. A lot of decks play Ancient Grudge, a lot of decks play Stony Silence. I think if you want to go for a dedicated aggro deck, you should look somewhere else than this Affinity, then Affinity list, and even than this Affinity list. I don't know why no Thoughtcast. The list I am playing and this list is the list that went top 8 in Grand Prix Antwerp Modern. So that's the exact copy of that list. So basically, I don't think Affinity is a solid enough deck. There are other aggro options that are still good in the format, which I actually did a lot better with. Maybe it's just this list, and you can test something with Spell Pierce and Thoughtcast, and that's better, which could obviously be possible. So tomorrow I think Maran will be streaming, and then Sunday. Let me check that for a second before I give wrong information. So check my email because it's on my email. It should be on my email. So yeah, tomorrow we'll be brewing with Yellow, who is probably gonna be playing some kind of weird Zur deck or something. He always brews modern decks, and currently you saw him streaming this afternoon. He's playing a Zur the Enchanter deck with Geists, which seems interesting. He hasn't been doing well with it, but of course it's still tuning. And then on Sunday it's gonna be Maran Labert. He didn't say what he's gonna be streaming though, and then the schedule for next week still hasn't been filled in, so we don't know who will be streaming then. But if you want to know when the stream comes up, you can follow us on Facebook, which is Belgic Magic. You can follow us up on Twitter, which is probably also Belgic Magic. You can find us on our website, which is belgicmagic.com. It's just a filler page at this point. We're working on the website. Oh, I was like, why do you see the chat twice? That's why. And you can obviously follow this channel and see when we go live. Anyway, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the future.